Alrighty, I'm Beck Lane, and this is Catalyst and Company. Catalyst and Company, where we're catalysts in each other's lives, and catalysts are in our own, and hopefully we become the artists we've always wanted to be. Behind me, I have two paintings I've been working on. They're 2 of 3, and I'm about to start a 4th, so I've got stuff going in rotation at different levels of development. But this particular painting is the second time I've painted this figure, or this image. There's the original, and I've had this for years, probably 7-8 years I've had this, but I pulled it out to challenge myself because in the first painting it was extremely colorful. The name of the painting, if you want to find it on my website or wherever, is Amboy and Charles. Amboy and Charles, we lived there till I was 9 years old. And what that is in Pawtucket or Providence, Rhode Island, I think it's Pawtucket, there's a tiny little street called Amboy. It's really teeny tiny. And on Amboy, at the end of Amboy, is a tenement house. And I met a family member who lived there who gave me this particular photo. And I just thought it was such an interesting, weird little street. It kind of makes very little sense, but the name of it, I mean, makes almost no sense. I don't know where it came from, but I fixated on it and had to, incorporate it in the painting. So in the painting, which is at Chasen Galleries, the original is at Chasen Galleries here in Sarasota, it's very, very bright, very colorful, like I usually do, but scrolled in oil pastel is Amboy and Charles. We lived there till I was 9 years old. Or 9. We lived there till I was 9, something like that. Excuse me, I wanted to paint it again, but using the limited palette that I talked about in the last video, where I was painting a figure named Millie, who's hanging up over there behind the camera. I was sticking to a limited palette of cobalt blue, titanium white, titanium buff, and transparent earth red, all by Gamblin Artist Colors. And I decided on the limited palette because a friend of mine, Lori Childers, gave me the tube of cobalt blue and gave me the tube of titanium white. And I wanted to show respect for the gift by focusing on those colors in my limited palette. But so I started Millie, and it just has those few colors. And I took the colors and brought them over here, brought them over to this second Amboy painting. And he's a little bit brighter than Maggie. Maggie's different shades of blue mixed with the transparent earth red and other colors. When I was working on him the other day, I realized they were kind of, the background and the figure were kind of blending together, and it just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. So I pulled Millie back out and was looking at both of them and realized I had to use one more color, a black, and I believe it's lamp black that I'm using, but I'm not sure because the tube is covered in paint and fingerprints, but I believe it's lamp black. So I outlined this boy in black. I highlighted with black in a few areas, and now I'm gonna put the black, and then I went in and worked on Millie with black a little bit. But my next step in working on this figure is to make the background more lush, adding more layers of the same limited palette, but making it feel more lush by bringing in more Neo McGilp, the medium that I've talked about for 9 years that I love. So I want it to feel a little bit more lush, where he's pretty dry, except for the black lines that have been dipped in, the black paint has been dipped in Neo McGilp for me to make the lines and help the figure pop in different areas and make the colors pop in different areas. I'm going to be adding it to the background as well. There's just one thing that's really bothering me about it, and I've been working on his face. I realize there could be a number of issues, like he's tilty. He's kind of just like a tilty tower, but I like it. I like it. It gives you a different feeling as a viewer, as opposed to he's standing here with his pants and a big smile on his face. it's just a little bit different. And he's awkward in the reference material as well. He's slightly tilted. In the reference material, he has his eyes open, but because I can't see it clearly, the photocopy that I have isn't very clear, I didn't want to guess with his eyes and have him come across all wrong. So I closed his eyes, but I've stuck with the smile, as you can see. However, in all the fixing of his face, I realized I do need another color in here somewhere. I need a highlight, an accent. I haven't figured out exactly what it's going to be. It'll be from the palette, from the strict palette, but it needs to be added to somewhere because his face doesn't feel just quite right yet. But we'll get there. And then behind Amboy 2 is another painting I'm working on. This is part of the series I've been working on for years of boys on rocking horses. And I've kind of taken to, ta-da, I'm going to do this so you can see it. I've kind of taken to calling them the Blue Boy series until I come up with something better. So this particular Blue Boy, I started while Amboy 2 was in process, while Millie was in process, so I can keep a continuous flow going. I have another canvas that's ready to go. I think I know exactly what it's going to be. I've already sketched her in, but we'll talk about it another time. Anyway, we're about a third of the way through on this. A third of the way, meaning I have a lot more work to do, but I'm excited. This is another piece of reference material I've been hanging on to forever and waiting for the right canvases to come along. And by canvases, I mean, as you can see, there are two. I think they're 24 by 36 each, so this is 4 feet across, 3 feet high, and my head, the way it works, I've got to have 2 canvases to keep the image interesting. And I say that after I showed you one canvas with Amboy 2 on it. But I'm pretty excited about where this is going to go. So I really wanted to talk to you today, I wanted to give you an update as to where we are, we meaning me, and I hope you're working as well. But I wanted to talk to you today, once again, about the brochures. Because the brochures, well, let me think for a sec, but this is actually, the one that I showed you in another video is the 3rd or 4th iteration of brochures and presentation packages I had made. And I've been sending this out. I've been giving this out and sending this out. Here's my little business card to people and to galleries, and just trying to get things moving. And that's what's going to lead to the next subject. But like I said, this particular one, the latest one, is this 3rd or 4th iteration. This is, I think, the 1st. I'm not sure. Yep, I can tell. That painting I did probably 12 years ago. So this was the first portfolio brochure I ever put together, and I had a lot of help doing it. But now I feel fairly seasoned, and things are easier. Programs and websites are easier. Programs and websites to produce your own printed material are so much easier. I went on Vistaprint to make my latest one, and I could do it all myself, whereas with the first couple, I needed a graphic designer and her programs to put it together because there was nothing available. Now there is, so we can do it ourselves. But here's the second one. There's Yeiyu Kusama. This one, this particular one, I listed all my social media on, but that's really not necessary. Now I just have the website address on the back on my portfolio brochure, and when people go to the website, all the social media is now listed. That's how quickly things have changed. That's how quickly things have changed online. So this is something you can do yourself, as I've talked about many times. But having those portfolio brochures is another tool in the toolbox, which leads to the next subject that I really wanted to address. And I'm going to do my best here. Again, I'm going to do my best. As artists, I think sometimes we fall a lot of the time we find ourselves falling into this old trope and trap and cliches about art and artists. There are so many tropes, but the one that bothers me the most is the old trope and joke that are about being a starving artist. I really hate it. It makes my skin crawl. It makes my hair stand on end. And yesterday I was visiting with 4 artist friends of mine, one new, but 4 artist friends of mine, and we were talking art and artists. And one of my friends used the cliche, starving artist. And every time I hear it, my blood pressure goes up. And I just looked at him and I said, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. And he went, I know. And I said, and shame on us as a culture and a society if that's the only view we have been told to have of artists, that we have to struggle, we have to starve, we have to, just face the fact that nobody's going to give a crap, or most people aren't going to give a crap about us until we're dead. If then. It's just I hate it. It's a waste. And I really would love to see the attitude change. I can't do it on my own. And there's, decades and millennia and years of people repeating it over and over and over again till it's a fact. Artists are always going to starve. It drives me insane. As a culture, we should be better. We should be, at this point in time, we should be able to recognize that artists drive the culture. Artists drive economy. Artists affect every aspect of being a human being and human society and human everything. Human absolutely everything. There is nothing you can name that was not designed by an artist. I'm looking at a chair over on my right. An artist had to design that. Many artists had to design it, from the textile to the composition of the chair, to the feel, just the entire look of it. I'm standing on a rug the color was picked by an artist. The fibers, the feel of it was designed they were designed or chosen by an artist. In my backyard, I look at the way the backyard is laid out and designed. That was designed by another type of artist. The clothing I'm wearing, even though it's ramshackle and from a secondhand store, my favorite, thrift stores are my favorite. These were all designed by artists. And in all of those artists and designers, this economy, they're drivers of their economies. Fashion designers are very big now. Clothing designers are very big and have been big for big-ish since what, the 50s, 40s, maybe closer to the 50s. With the birth of Dior and other designers coming out and, putting outfits together or designing outfits and clothing for, higher society. I'm getting lost in my thoughts, but the point is that we don't accept the trope and the joke of being a starving artist, because it belittles us, it humiliates us, and it makes us believe that we have to accept our lot in life. And because art has been so diminished over the years, and artists have been so diminished over the years, a lot of times we just shrug and go, I guess I deserve it. I guess I deserve to not exist because I'm an artist. And it's sad and it's wrong. Now, I showed you the brochures because, where did it go? Here it is. There they are. I showed you the brochures because this is one way we can push back on the starving artist trope and allowing ourselves to be backed into a corner and diminished and shamed for doing the thing that we love. and doing the thing that we need to do, which is creating artwork. As I said, I've been sending this out to a lot of people. I've been sending also postcards out so I can connect with people who have supported me over the last few years. If I haven't sent you one, that means I need your address. So please either message me on Facebook or Instagram, or go through my website and let me know, and I'll send you a postcard with a little note, because I've been trying to thank as many people as possible for seeing me, for seeing the artwork, for seeing the artwork. I'm trying to make that connection again, that personal connection that doesn't involve social media. It involves the human touch. So yeah, the brochures. I find myself sending this out more and more and more lately because I do not want to accept being categorized and boxed in. I do not want to accept the starving artist as being the only option in life. You know, we watch a lot of artists pull ahead and make a lot of money, and some of them are pretty terrible and unoriginal, and it infuriates me and it makes me jealous. But if I'm just sitting and not doing anything about it, not making that connection, not continuing to make art, not also communicating with the art galleries that I'm with and saying, this is what I need you to do, nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna change. So what I want you to hear in this is, and it just dawned on me this morning, I'm being my own advocate. If we have no other advocates, if we don't have representation, if we don't have a dealer, if we don't have people who are actively involved in selling our work and helping us to thrive, not just survive, but thrive, then we have to be our own advocates. We have to reach out. We have to say, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is what I need from you. So let's keep that in mind, okay? It hasn't always worked out well for me, but I keep doing it anyway, with the belief being, one day I'm going to find that person, those people that will go, okay, we are going to get champion behind you. God knows I have enough supporters. I have an awful lot of people who are very passionate about my work. But we need to also reach in as many directions as possible, or try to contact as many people as possible. Whatever I'm trying to say, be your own advocate. Be your own champion. Be confident in it. And put that trope that you deserve to starve because you're an artist out of your heart and head as best you possibly can. It's very, very hard, because we're fighting years and years and years and years of that joke. But the only way we're going to achieve is by being our own advocates. All right? There's my big lesson of the day. All right, Carrie, here we go. Ready? I'm sorry. I'm Beck Lane. This is Catalyst & Company. Catalyst & Company, where we're catalysts in each other's lives, catalysts in our own lives, and we become the artists we always wanted to be. If you'd like to help support, and this is how I'm being an advocate for myself, is at the end of every video. If you'd like to help support Catalyst & Company, formerly Studio 120, all the links are down below. There's Patreon where you can supply monthly support, PayPal and Cash App links where you can send just tips, just buy me a cup of coffee. I would love someone to buy me a cup of coffee, which would probably end up being a tube of paint, but I'd love it, I'd appreciate it. There's also TeePublic, where you can buy images of my work as prints in various sizes and sizes that you choose, posters. You can buy them on coffee mugs, masks, whatever. There's a ton of different ways that you can help out. Also, if you're interested in buying some of the work you've seen, like the Blue Boy series, which I would love to see in someone's home, or in many homes, but the Blue Boy series, or Amboy and Charles #2, Millie, or any one of hundreds of other paintings. The galleries are listed down below and how to contact them. Or you can peruse my website, becklaneartist.com. All right, here we go. Now ready, Charles? Carrie, where did Charles, who even knows how that popped into my head? All right, ready, Carrie in Australia? Did you get what I mailed you yet, by the way? I don't know. Let me know if when you get it, all right? Ready, Carrie? Here we go. Ciao. Meow, meow, meow. Boink.